I think in his perfect world, I would have stood with him against my kids. And then when I won't, he just loses his, it's all my fault. So the conversation still hasn't happened. There's still nothing. He does have somewhat of a relationship with Garrison right now, a little bit, but there's no reconciliation really. This is me saying I don't want him in my life anymore. He's not going to be at my house. I don't care if I ever interact with Cody again, honestly, at this point.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Well, Janelle Brown posted an update yesterday and she was tearful and so happy for an outpouring of support that she had received connected to her son, Garrison Brown. The post had to do with donations that had been made in his honor to local animal rescues in Flagstaff that Garrison had adopted cats from. Garrison Brown was a cat dad. He had recently adopted a cat only a few days before his sudden passing. The cat was a 9-year-old geriatric cat that he adopted from a shelter that was about to be put down, and he rescued that cat and saved her life. Janelle shared an update on her Instagram thanking everyone for their support. She said, "I have been brought to tears again. I'm being told about everyone's donations to High Country Humane and Ark Cat Sanctuary in Garrison's name. Thank you all for your generosity. It means so much. The cats he adopted from both agencies were so important to him. He loved being a cat dad." And then she shared a photograph of him holding his cats, and she shared a couple posts from the Coconino County, Northern Arizona group. It says, "This is what we do every life is worth saving. In 2022, we took in 796 cats from Flagstaff, Coconino County, and Northern Arizona, including the Hopi reservations in Navajo Nation. This accounts for 32% of all cats and kittens taken in by local shelters that year. We did this with no public funding." And then when somebody asked her about the cats that he had and how the cats were doing, someone said this, "I hope she keeps them and they're not returned back to the Humane Society. Just heartbreaking all around." And Janelle said, "They're settling in with Garrison's siblings as we speak." And then someone else said, "Hoping the babies will stay with trusted family." And Janelle said, "They are already safe at home with some of the siblings." So it looks like a couple of his siblings, or maybe one of the siblings, took in the 3 cats. The cats had not always lived together, so I mean, I'm sure the one cat that had just been adopted could go to a separate home if need be. But the other 2 cats had been together for quite a while, so they probably, hopefully, will stick them together. But for now, just so you know, the cats are okay. The cats are with siblings, and these cat humane societies and the sanctuary, have been getting so many donations. In fact, Ark Cat Sanctuary shared this on their Instagram not long ago. "It is with a heavy heart that I share the news of Garrison Brown's passing. Our thoughts are with his loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. Garrison was a Flagstaff local and avid animal lover, and we deeply appreciate those who have donated to the Ark in his name during this sad time. If you or someone you know is struggling, please remember that help is available. Reach out to a mental health professional, a trusted friend, or call a crisis hotline. You are not alone, and there is always hope." And that was shared 15 hours ago at Ark Cat Sanctuary. And then High Country Humane shared Janelle's post and said, "We are mourning the loss of our dear friend Garrison Brown. Grateful for the memories shared, cats saved, and lives changed in his honor." And then another person said, "Grateful for the lives changed for cats in Garrison's honor. His memory will be with us always." And then another one was, "We'll be making a donation in loving memory of Garrison Brown. He loved his cats so much and was a proud cat dad, saving one of his babies a week before his passing and right before she was scheduled to be euthanized. He was a beautiful, caring soul who will be missed desperately." And then they shared links to donating to Cat Sanctuary and to High Country Humane. And these were shared by Janelle and then reshared by High Country Humane. So the two organizations that he had adopted cats from are getting blown away with donations, which is wonderful. If you would like to make a donation to either one of these organizations, I'll put a link in my description box where you can donate and make a donation in Garrison's name. And I'm sure all of the cats and Flagstaff will be very grateful for your help. And dogs. High Country Humane actually handles dogs as well. I've noticed that there are quite a few dogs that they've been trying to find homes for. So also, if you're in Flagstaff and you're looking for an animal, these two organizations appear to have a lot of loving animals that are in need of homes. Without a Crystal Ball is a huge cat lover. We have several, and I have several, and dogs, and we rescue all. So it's so sweet to see the outpouring of love and support from viewers of Sister Wives that are trying to honor his memory with something that was near and dear to his heart. Cats are a wonderful, wonderful animal. I wanted to also share with you a couple tributes that were made by two of Robert's Garrison Brown's friends. It appears that these individuals actually knew him from high school, and Robert Garrison did a lot of traveling with them. And when you go to his tagged tab on his Instagram, you can find different tributes from friends, and that's where I'm finding these. So they're publicly available, tagged to his public account, and they're public posts by friends. And two friends that he had done quite a bit of traveling with, specifically over quarantine, shared tributes yesterday, which were super sweet. One was by a gentleman named Blake. Blake wrote this: "I will miss Robert deeply. Roberto was a goofy guy that had a lot of love to give. He truly was just a sweet guy who I relied on often. I valued his friendship, and even if we hadn't seen each other in months, we could pick things right back up where we left off. He was incredibly easy to be with, and his presence generally made anything more fun. He walked into my home like he was part of the family, and I loved how comfortable he was just chatting it up with any member of my family. He quickly became a well-loved member of our friend group when we first met him in high school, and this was often then case when we introduced him to new people. Robert had a special ability to make friends easily and quickly made you feel loved. We traveled together, ditched classes together, and hiked many mountains together. I have countless stories and fun memories with him that I will cherish and look back on for the rest of my life. Robert loved many things, including his family, friends, Hawaiian shirts, his cats, his country, photography, building things, and being in nature. He was wise, ambitious, and full of life. Rob was a burly dude with a soft center. Trust me, if you poked his belly, I'm sure he'd giggle and laugh like the doughboy. I will think of him every time I see a picture of Yosemite, when I see Hawaiian shirts, or when I hear Love by Lana. Haha. His life will live on through the many memories that we shared with him." There was a lot of pictures that Blake had tagged him in over the years of them traveling, like hiking, going to California. They even went to Pride together. It appears that some of these friends were friends from high school that were part of the LDS church. When he was in high school in Las Vegas, it looks like he sort of linked up with friends that were part of the LDS faith. And Blake actually was a member of the LDS. I don't know if he is still today. And a couple years ago, he had made a post about coming out and being being gay in the LDS church, and Robert Garrison Brown liked that comment. And then later, I think a year later or so, they went to California with their friend, and they went to a Pride festival, and it was Garrison and his friend Blake, and then the girlfriend that went with them. So it's super sweet to see that his friends share a side of him that none of us are seeing on the show. And it's touching just how deeply the friends are willing to go with their tributes. It feels a lot more personal. And when you're on a television show, the family has to be very careful about what they say, and a lot of their statements are going to be very curated, and some of their statements at this point could even be put out by handlers within TLC to help navigate this so that they don't have to manage their social media, because their social media is a part of their job with TLC. A number of the photographs that he shared were super cute. And then another one of the friends, who goes by Sabs Diego, and I don't know what her first name is, but she shared videos of their travels. So this is the girl that goes on travels with them. She wrote, "A goodbye I wasn't ready for. I wish we could have shared one more laugh, one more hike, one more chaotic plan. In the same way that we'll always share our free spirit, you and me. Fly high, Bert. And then she shared a bunch of photographs of them traveling, hiking, different places that she went with him. You know, during COVID, Cody complained a lot about his social life. And a lot of his social life during COVID was traveling and doing hiking and being outdoors in nature. He wasn't doing crowded spaces or infecting other people. And he was with his friends. And I think COVID was hard for anyone that was in that age range because young adults are not used to staying home and they're in college and it's hard to be socially distanced and isolated. And Cody's expectations of the kids to stay home and not go to college and not work were just so unrealistic based on where his adult children were. Very different if you have an elementary school kid or a high school kid that has a school that's locked down and not sending their kids to school. But if you've got a kid that's graduated, has a job, and has to work and go to school, you can't stop them from going to work and going to school. Just never made any sense to me. So it's nice that, you know, we're seeing a little bit of what he was doing during that time and that his friends have made such touching tributes to him. There has been an outpouring of love and support towards him in the last several days. And there has been a lot of touching tributes posted not only by family members, but also by friends. And overwhelmingly, over and over and over again, it's clear that he had a very full life. There was a lot that he had in his life that he loved. There were a lot of people in his life that loved him. He was far more than just Garrison on a television show. There was an entire side of him that none of us really ever saw. Most of us didn't know the kind of things that he was doing off camera. Very rarely did we ever see the boys do things on the show. And someone had mentioned that they believed maybe Cody was jealous of the boys so that he just wouldn't show them. And I don't know. I mean, boys are in polygamy a threat to men getting more wives and a threat to taking girls from them. So potentially the boys can be viewed for sure as competition to their fathers. The girls in his family got a lot more screen time than the boys. And when Garrison graduated from high school, like I said yesterday, we didn't see it. When Gabriel graduated from high school, we didn't see it. When Peyton graduated from high school, we didn't see it. But then it was weird because then during COVID, when Gwendolyn and Aurora graduated, they made this whole big deal. But then when Brianna graduated from high school, it was like nothing. And again, Savannah's graduated and nothing. I guess they kind of pick and choose which kids they want to feature. And I'm guessing Aurora was one of Cody's favorites, so she got to have her own tribute, and she was one of the first kids of Cody's with Robin that graduated, although Dayton graduated too, and that wasn't on the show either. So there's been a lot that's been posted and shared, and overwhelmingly, it has all been very positive for him. And truly, if anyone out there is struggling, there are resources available. There is hope. These types of deaths are absolutely preventable, and you can get help if you need it. 988 is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call and talk with them. They can help you with resources. There are also generally crisis hotlines wherever you're located in your state or county. If you have a friend or a family member that needs help, you can always reach out to these hotlines as well for them. And if you have a friend or family member that you know is struggling, just make sure to check in with them and see how they're doing. Make sure to check in to see if they're okay. And more than anything, just know that you're not alone. And something I always thought when I was going through my own darkness was, I would always tell myself, this too shall pass. And even as hard as that was sometimes, I would remind myself, this too shall pass. And sometimes in cases like Robert Garrison Brown, it doesn't pass. But 988, and we're going to keep on talking about 988 and awareness for all of those that have lost loved ones. And to everyone in the comments, that has also experienced loss in your own family or had children that you've lost as well in the same manner. My heart goes out to you. Thank you all for sharing. So many of you in my comments sharing your own experiences, sharing your own losses. And if I haven't responded, I promise I'm not trying to ignore. There just are so many comments on every video. So I wanted to just end this video specifically by saying to any of you that have lost someone that you love and you are also a survivor of suicide, my heart goes out to you. My deepest condolences. And I'm so sorry for your loss. All right, you guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you liked this video, make sure to click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. And as always, leave a comment if you have something that you would like to say. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.